السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. قال المصنف رحمه الله تعالى في كتابه بلوغ المرام من أدلة الأحكام في باب صلاة التطوع، حديث number 308. حديث نمبر 308. وعن جابر رضي الله تعالى عنه قال: قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: من خاف ألا يقوم من آخر الليل فليؤتر أوله، ومن طمع أن يقوم آخره فليؤتر آخر الليل، فإن الصلاة آخر الليل مشهودة وذلك أفضل. رواه مسلم. Jabir radiallahu anhu, he says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Man khafa an la yaquma min al-layli min akhir al-layli falyu'tir awwalahu. Whoever fears that he might miss the salatul witr in the last part of the night, let him make witr in the beginning of the night. وَمَنْ طَمِعَ أَنْ يَقُومَ آخِرِ فَلْيُؤْتِرْ آخِرِ اللَّيْلِ. Then whoever has the hope that he can perform the salatul witr in the end of the night, let him do so. فَإِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ آخِرِ اللَّيْلِ مَشْهُودَةٌ عَلَى ذَلِكَ وَذَلِكَ أَفْضَلُ. Verily, the salatul layl, the prayers that are prayed in the last part of the night, are being witnessed here, witnessed by the angels. وَذَلِكَ أَفْضَلُ. And performing the night prayers at the last part of the night, which is afdal. When we say qiyamul layl, when we say salatul layl, when we say tarawih, when we say tahajjud, these prayers can be prayed just after the isha till the fajr. But the best of its timing is to pray in the third part of the night. لأن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: الله ينزل إلى السماء في آخر الليل ثلث. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes down in the third part of the night. So whoever makes dua at this particular time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, he says that the dua that is made during the third part of the night is like an arrow that hits its target. It's like an arrow that doesn't miss and hits its target. So try to be among those who pray at least 2 rak'ah of tahajjud and followed with witr, inshallah ta'ala. Hadith number 309. وعن ابن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنهما النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: إذا طلع الفجر فقد ذهب وقت كل صلاة الليل والوتر أوتر قبل طلوع الفجر. رواه الترمذي. And Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, he says that إذا طلع الفجر, the moment the طلوع الفجر starts, that's the end of the night prayers, that is the starting of the salatul fajr. فَقَدْ ذَهَبَ وَقْتُ كُلِّ صَلَاةِ اللَّيْلِ. Verily, the timing of the entire night prayer has gone. When it starts? طُلُوء الْفَجْر. طُلُوء الْفَجْر. When we say طُلُوء الْفَجْر, it is the fajr exactly when it starts. Now how do we know? There are 2 kinds of fajr. Do you remember that? What are the 2 kinds of fajr? Fajr al-kadhib, fajr al-sadiq. Do you remember that? Fajr al-kadhib wa sadiq. Fajr al-kadhib is a false fajr. That is where Bilal radiallahu anhu, he used to give adhan almost like 1 hour before the tulu al-fajr. Fajr al-sadiq is a timing where Abdullah bin Maktoum radiallahu anhu, he used to give the adhan. That's the actual fajr. So that's the end of all the prayers when it comes to the night. وَالْوِتْرُ أَوْتِرُ قَبَلَ طُلُوعِ الْفَجْرِ. And witr, offer witr before the tulu al-fajr starts. So we know from the hadith that the witr timing starts from min ba'd salat al-isha ila tulu al-fajr. It starts from after the isha till طلوع الفجر. نعم. Hadith number 310. وعن عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها قالت كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي الضحى 4 ويزيد ما شاء الله رواه مسلم. And Aisha radiallahu anha, she says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam yusalli ad-duha 4. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to perform Salat al-Duha 4 rak'ah. And what is Salat al-Duha? Salat al-Duha starts from 15 minutes after the sunrise until the Zawwal. Till the Zawwal. 15 minutes after the sunrise, not the moment sun rises. 15 minutes after the sunrise till Zawwal. Zawwal is when the sun is right above your head, at the zenith. At the zenith. So these are the timings. You can perform Salat al-Duha at any timings. But the best of the time of performing Salat al-Duha is when it is close to the zenith, when the sun is hot, when the land is hot because of the sun. Is it clear? That's the best of the timings. But if somebody performs Salatul Duha 15 minutes after the sunrise, la ba'sa bih, there is no problem at all. Is it clear? That's the timing of the Duha. And how many Duha you can perform? You can perform 2, you can perform 4, you can perform 6. The hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, it is mentioned, وَيَزِيدُ مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ, and he used to do as much as possible. Sometimes Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to perform about 8 rak'ah. Sometimes he used to perform about 12 rak'ah. Sometimes he used to perform about 2 rak'ah. Sometimes he used to perform 4 rak'ah. You can perform how many ever rak'ah you want to. Absolutely no problem in that, inshallah ta'ala. Now, Salatul Duha, is it a wajib? Is it something which is mustahab? What is the ruling? Some of the ulama rahimahumullah, they say that Salatul Duha is something which is mustahab. This mustahab mutlaq means it is mustahab upon every single person at every single time. Every single time in the sense, the timing between, the timing which I mentioned after sunrise and before the zenith. Some of the ulama like some of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, Az-Zuhri and Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, they say that Salatul Duha is ghayra mashru'. It is not legislated. It is not legislated. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah comes up with the opinion that Salatul Duha is performed not every time but with a sabab. That means performing sometimes. لأن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يترك أحيانا كان يصلي أحيانا. Because Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم used to perform sometimes and used to leave sometimes. So here Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he says that do not make it as an act that you do every day, but rather you leave it on sometimes. Is it clear? So leaving sometimes, it is from the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he says that when it comes to mustahab mutlaq, he says mustahab, but you have to leave it for sometimes. Do not make it a regular practice. And Ibn Taymiyyah with the sabab. Is it clear now, inshallah ta'ala? That's a ruling with Salatul Duha. There is no consistency. Performing consistently Salatul Duha, it is not from the sunnah. Leaving is from the sunnah. The wording of the hadith 310, there is extending wordings. وَلَهُ عَنْهَا أَنَّهَا سُئِلَتْ. And it was asked regarding Salatul Duha to Aisha radiallahu anha, هل كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي الضحى? Did Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم used to perform Salatul Duha? قالت Aisha radiallahu anha, she says that لا إلا أن يجي من مغيبه, except that whenever he comes back from his absence, in the sense whenever he goes to out of station, when he comes back to his town, sometimes he used to perform. So this hadith says that sometimes he used to perform, sometimes he used to leave. So here there is a sabab. What is the sabab? Whenever he comes back from the traveling, as Ibn Taymiyyah holds this count with the sabab. وَلَهُ عَنْهَا, the extended wordings of the same hadith. وَلَهُ عَنْهَا ما رأيت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي سبحه الضحى قط وإني لا أسبحها. Now there is a problem. Aisha radiallahu anha, she says here that she never saw Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam performing Salatul Duha. But the previous verses says that, which is narrated by Aisha radiallahu anha, which mentions كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي أربعا كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي إذا جاء من مغيبه, whenever he comes back from the safar. Here she says that ما رأيت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يصلي الضحى قط. She has never seen Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam performing Salatul Duha, never and ever. Now there is a problem. If you ask me, there is no contradiction among the hadith here. There is no contradiction. When we study hadith, sometimes what happens is a rawi, the narrator, will be informed by another sahabi about the act of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's when this rawi narrates it. Not necessarily that the rawi, the narrator, has to see that particular act. This is among the muhaddithin. Those who study usulul hadith will understand this. Okay? And also, here this hadith, this last wording says, Ma ra'aytu, yani, I have never seen Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Ulama, the fuqaha, they say that it is not a mutlaq, in the sense she has never seen. Maybe sometimes she has seen it. Most of the time he did not perform. That's the meaning of it. Most of the time she did not perform. But here we have another adjacent hadith which says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed it. So what does it mean? There is a usul, there is a qaida in usul al-fiqh, that is al-ithbatu muqaddimun ala al-nafi'. Al-ithbatu muqaddimun ala al-nafi'. What is the principle? The affirmation takes precedence over negation. The affirmation takes precedence over negation. Here Aisha radiallahu anha, she says she has not seen. According to her, she has not seen. But there are many other sahabi who have seen it. So what takes precedence here? The affirmation from whom? The other sahaba radiallahu anhum. So this is a qaida al-fiqhiyya that we use in this regards. What we understand is that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has performed Salatul Duha, lakin la yusalli istimraran, but he did not perform it in a regular basis. Is it clear now? Now, there is another thing in the hadith of when we study usul al-hadith. There is something called al-qawlu muqaddimun ala al-fail. Al-qawlu muqaddimun ala al-fail. The statement takes precedence over the action. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam does something regularly, but he hasn't told it. But if he says do it, then it will become more appropriate to follow it. MashaAllah, barakallah feek. More appropriate to follow that. Is it clear? More appropriate. Because al-qawlu muqaddimun ala al-fail. So the statement takes precedence over the action itself. Rasulullah is doing it, but he hasn't told it. But إذا كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم use أمر أو أمرنا أو يعني if he says umirna, it has been ordered, or amara Rasulullah sallallahu, he ordered us, or we've been ordered, qura'na, it has been recited to us, then this is something which is action. But amara is something which is fail. So this qawl statement takes precedence over the action. Is it clear now? That's the qaida in that we use in that we normally use in Mustal al-Hadith, the science of the Hadith. So here Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to perform sometimes, he used to leave it sometimes. So it is not from the sunnah that you perform it consistently. No. Hadith number 211. وعن زيد بن أرقم رضي الله تعالى عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال صلاة الأوابين حين ترمض الفصال رواه الترمذي. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that Zayd ibn Arqam radiyallahu anhu narrates this hadith that Salatul Awwabin. Salatul Awwabin is Salatul Duha. The Salatul Awwabin are the people who perform Salatul Duha. Hina tarmadul fisal. When they perform this Salatul Duha, when tarmadul fisal means when you find the young camels, the small hashi, The young camels, they get up from the sand. When they get up from the sand is when the sand becomes hot. When the sand becomes hot. And this is the appropriate time. This is the afdal waqt to perform Salatul Duha when the sun is hot. When the sun is hot. Hadith number 312. وعن أنس رضي الله تعالى عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من صلى الضحى 12 ركعة بنى الله له قصرا في الجنة رواه الترمذي واستغرب. And this hadith is واستغرب means غريب. غريب here means it is narrated by only one chain, one sanad, one chain. So there are no more there are no 2 or 3 chains. It is narrated by only one chain. And Zayd Anas radiyallahu anhu, he says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says that man salla duha 12 rak'atin, yani whoever performs salatul duha 12 rak'ah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala builds a palace for him in the Jannah. So we have seen sometime Rasulullah performing 4, sometimes somebody performing he performing 12, sometime he performs 2 rak'ah, and we have 8 rak'ah as well. So we have option here to perform 12 rak'ah also. And one more thing, what we understand from the hadith is that those who are regular with the Salatul Layl in the night, Qiyamul Layl in the night, if they miss because of sleeping, because they slept, because of some reason, if they sleep off, they can perform those prayers in the duha during the time of duha. And we perform how many rak'ah of the Salatul Layl? 11. So but you make it that witr as 12. You will not make it as 11. It become witr. 11 is witr. You will make it as 12. So this is something which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do. So if you do that, and you will be following the sunnah, absolute no issues in this regard, inshallah ta'ala. Hadith number 313. Hadith number 313. وعن عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها قالت دخل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بيتي فصلى الضحى 8 ركعات رواه ابن حبان في الصحيح. If you see, this hadith is also narrated by whom? Aisha radiyallahu anha. She says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, whenever he comes to the house, whenever, and this is not every time, whenever he enters the house, فصلى الضحى 8 ركعات. Rasulullah, he used to perform sallallahu alayhi wasallam duha, how many rak'ah? 8 rak'ah. So it is also clear, 8, 2, 4, 12, you can perform as much as possible, but doing it consistently, that is not from the sunnah, but rather you should leave it sometimes, you can perform it sometimes, rather with sabab sometimes, as we have discussed about the different aqwal of the ulama, rahimahumullah ta'ala. With this we have finished with Salatul Tatawwu. Now we are going to a new chapter, a very important chapter, Babu Salatul Jama'ati wal Imamah. This chapter talks about the Babu Salatul, the chapter that talks about the congregational prayer, and also some of the etiquettes of the Imam. Now we will discuss what is Jama'ah. We know what is the meaning of Jama'ah. Jama'ah is congregation in the masjid. Sah wa la? Congregation in the masjid. Congregation in the masjid, ulama rahimahumullah ta'ala, they say that وَهُوَ وَاجِبٌ عَلَى كُلِّ Muslim. It is obligatory upon every single Muslim. It's obligatory coming to the masjid and praying. Every single Muslim. When we say every single Muslim here, it does not include few people among the Muslimin. Who are they? Women. Women, it is not obligatory upon the woman to come to the masjid and pray. And musafir, the traveler, it is not obligatory upon a traveler to come to the masjid and pray. And qadir, yani laysa qadir, the one who is not able to come to the masjid, the one who is sick, marid, who is not able to come to the masjid, it is not obligatory for him to come to the masjid and pray in the jama'ah. And also for the person who is an abd. When we say abd, who is abd? The slave. The slave, it is not obligatory upon the slave to come to the masjid and pray. Ulama rahimahumullah, they say that when it comes to the slave, you know who is slave, right? not the servants, those who come to our masajids, sorry, to our homes. I'm telling about the slavery which existed during few years back. They are under you. They are under you. You take care of them. And you are the master of them. That is slavery that we are talking about, which is not generally seen nowadays, but inshallah ta'ala we will see in the future. Or it was there in the past, but we'll see in the future inshallah ta'ala. Here, it is not allowed for a slave to come to the masjid and pray. But some of the ulama, they say that no, it is obligatory upon the slave as well. But there is a clear hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam who says that there is no obligatory salah for the slave. But if he asks the permission from the master to come to the masjid and pray, then the master should give the permission to him. In that case, he can come to the masjid and pray. Well, it is with regard to Jum'ah or Jama'ah, both prayers. Jum'ah or Jama'ah. So Jum'ah and Jama'ah not obligatory upon Musafir, not obligatory upon the woman, not obligatory upon the slave, not obligatory upon the one who can't come, the one who is sick. Is it clear? Jama'ah. Now, the ulama, they say that it is obligatory upon a person to come to the masjid. What if he performs in the prayer? Is it salah invalid? Is salah invalid if a person prays the salah in the masjid, in their house or anywhere? No. Salah is not invalid. Salah is valid. وَلَكِنَّهُ آثِمٌ. But he is a sinner. He has committed a sin. The one who misses the jama'ah in the masjid bila udhurin, without any reason, then he is a sinner, but the salah is valid. But the salah is valid. Some of the ulama, few ulama are of the opinion that the one who misses the prayer bila udhur, without any reason, but he prays at home, his salah is invalid. But what is sahih? What is qawl rajih is that the salah to who? His salah is valid, but it is something which he's committed sin. He's committed sin by leaving the jama'ah. So do not leave the jama'ah in the masjid. Now when we say about jama'ah, we are talking about the jama'ah in the masjid, not the jama'ah you make with your wife or children or your family members at the home. You make jama'ah in the masjid with the imam. That is what is mashru', that is what is shara Allahu lana, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has legislated for us. Now when we say about jama'ah, there are many benefits of the jama'ah. There are many benefits. What are the benefits? It unites the Muslims at one place. Unite the Muslims at one place. We will get to know each other. We will get to know our problems, and we will share our problems. We will rectify our problems. We will know who is in the society, who is not in the society. That is one of the benefits. Another benefit is that it does not distinguish between the poor, rich, color, creed. Creed in the sense, asnaf, not about religion. It does not distinguish between the rich, poor, sultan, king, whoever it is. Everybody will come and stand in the same line, unless the churches which have, for church there is some black church, some white church, low people church, for these people there is church. Even if you go to the temples, there are not everybody can go inside the temple. Only certain individuals can go to the temple. I myself, I have seen when I went to Kerala with my father when I was young, we were non-Muslims. We went to Kerala and I find some people are not allowed inside the masjid. We were allowed because we are from the higher caste. So, yeah? Sorry? Temple, yes. Temple. We went to the, did I say church? Oh, sorry, Maltabast yani. I went to the masjid, I went to the temple, Jazakallah for correcting. Those who will be confused, what is it talking about? So I was taken to the temple, I saw some people are being allowed inside, some people are not allowed inside the temple. Then I asked my dad, why are these people not allowed inside the temple? Then he said that these are the low caste people. I said, what? Low caste people? Everybody are same. And the priest of the temple, we are allowed, and he gives us, the prasad and all these things, the things which they give in temple in the hand, and we are allowed inside. These people, they are not allowed, and they have to stand about 20 feet away from the priest, and they will throw it from like this, they will throw it from here. And to an extent, I've heard that if the priest come close to them, 10 feet or 5 feet or 6 feet, did not even touch them, the priest has to go and take ghusl and come back. This is their religion, and they talk about Islam. Who are you to talk about Islam, man? Go and rectify your affairs with Brahmanism, these things, about your religion, about caste system. There is another issue. Low caste people live in low areas. High caste people live in high caste areas. They will not have connection with people, they should not have connection with that people. And the low caste will not have higher the authority in the society. They will have low class jobs. I used to go to Kerala, and I don't like to take bath in the washrooms. I like going to the ponds, rivers. So I used to go with my dad. I go and swim, and there I have seen, wallahi, this is something very funny, you have to listen. We have a pond, huge pond, and this pond belongs to the temple, which is away from the temple. Okay, so there are different entrances, but all the entrances lead to the same water. Different entrances. One entrance is for the Shudras, another entrance is for women, another entrance is for some higher class people, another entrance is for Brahmins. So we used to enter from the higher authority, higher caste, and we used to jump into the same water. And I see they are also jumping into the same water. This is known as foolishness to the power of infinity. If somebody knows what is infinity, they can understand. It means infinite, no end. So foolishness to the power of, those who are good in mathematics will understand what I am saying, infinity. Our religion of Islam, alhamdulillah, we are proud that we are Muslims. We are proud Allah gave us Iman. We are proud Allah is making us stand in one line without distinguishing between the king or a poor or any person. Wallahi al-Azim, this is the truth. What else you want from the religion of Islam? When everybody gathers in the masjid in one line, and Imam could be a poor man and Sultan, the king is standing behind him. Tell me, which religion talks about all these things? And this is the benefit of the Jama'ah, which does not distinguish. You can't make separate masjid as well, only for the rich, only for the poor, only for the blacks, only for the whites, only for Chinese, only for Japanese, only for Indians, only for Bangladeshis, only for Pakistanis. No. Everybody stands in one row reciting same Arabic language. That is one of the other benefit. We all recite Arabic. Whether you do not know, you understand or not, doesn't matter. But you have to pray the Quran, everything in the language of Arabic language. This also shows the unity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفْرَقُوا. What is the meaning of it? وَاعْتَصِمُوا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not say, وَاعْتَصِمُوا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Come together and do not depart. But Allah says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ. What is the rope of Allah here? Al-Quran wa Sunnah. Whoever holds on to the Quran and Sunnah will not get deviated and deceived. So we need to hold on to the Quran and Sunnah, habl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you will not separate from each other. This Jama'ah in the masjid is a thing that brings about unity. For example, I did not say Ahmed for many days. The moment he entered, I was like, MashaAllah, Tabarakallah, I said. It's a happiness. When you do not find your friend or your brother or your somebody whom you know, you'll be like, what happened to him? Why didn't he come? And you'll go and inquire about this person. Yes or no? That shows the unity, that inculcates the love among the believers. Jama'ah, you can look at the fa'idah. Allah musta'an. This is the fa'idah. Some of the important fa'idah of praying in the Jama'ah, when it comes to Jama'ah in the masajids, it is better to pray in that masjid where there are more people who prays in the Jama'ah. That's more rewardable. You will get the reward of 27 to 25 times prayers. That is one thing. Right? But if you pray in the jama'ah, where there is more congregation, more people in the congregation in the masjid, that is better than praying in those masajids where there are 1 or 2 lines. And ulama rahimahumullah, they say that praying in the old masajids, Masjidul Atiq, which are old masajids, from many years this masjid has been built. Praying in that masjid is more rewardable than praying in the new masajids. Why? Because that particular place is being prostrated by the people from many years. That is more afdal. Al-masjidul ladhi ab'adu min al-masjidul ladhi ab'ad afdalu min masajid alladhi qareeb. The masajids which are far away are better than the masajids which are close to your houses. Why? Fi kulli khutuwatin, for every step that you take to the masjid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will write a good deed for you, and Allah will erase a bad deed for you. Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they used to take a long walk to the masjid. So that Allah will forgive their sins. When I was in Makkah, what I used to do is, there is a masjid right besides my house. I used to give durus in that masjid when I was in Makkah. Sometimes what I used to do is, I used to go to different masajids at different timings of the prayer sometimes, just to walk and get the reward. In the Makkah, same reward. خير من مئة ألف. It is better than the 1 lakh prayers. To go to different masajids and pray. And this from the sunnah, praying different imam. Establish your sujood at different masajids. That place will witness on the day of judgment. And when you die, that place will cry. You know that? Hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That place will cry. This man, he used to prostrate every time. He is dead now. That place will be testifying for you on the day of judgment. For you. So establish your sujood at different places. Whenever you go to a new place, thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you prostrated in that place nobody has ever prostrated before. Possible? Yes or no? And that place will witness on the day of judgment. Allahu musta'an. So the masajid which are far away are better than masajid which are close by. Sahaba radiallahu anhum, what they used to do is, if a person is sick, not able to walk, they used to bring him on their shoulders and they used to make a person to pray in the masjid in the jama'ah. This shows the importance of praying in the jama'ah unless you have a reason to leave it. Wallahi al-azim, I used to see a man in Kammanhalli, there is a masjid Asra. I saw a man he came from Yemen. He has come from some, for the treatment. By Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he can't even walk. If he stands, his legs are like this. He can't even walk. He can't even take. But he comes to the masjid. I saw him most of the time praying in the masjid, standing, not even using the chair. Standing and praying. Wallahi, whenever I see him, I'm ashamed of myself. Why? He reminds me about the importance of praying the jama'ah. It reminds me of praying standing. He is able to do it. That's why he is able to do it. But if you're not able to do it, you can sit. There is no problem. Allah will not catch you. But that shows him how much they know the value of it. Allah has given us wealth. Allah has given us health. We do not know the value of it. But Allah takes away that, right? That's when you know the value of it. He knows the value of standing and praying. He comes to the masjid he comes while walking. He can't even walk. He comes to the masjid praying and standing and performing the prayers. Allahul musta'an. Allah likes this. But at the same time, Allah does not like celibacy. What is celibacy? I'm not able to pray, but still I'm praying, standing and praying. Allah does not like it. Allah has chosen you to take the easiest things. Is it clear? So we should not be by tafrit wa ifrat. That is neither this extremism nor this extremism. We are ummatum wasat, a middle path. Is it clear now? So jama'ah is wajib upon every single Muslim, and if a person misses the jama'ah without any reason, he is a sinner. Salah is valid, but he is a sinner. We'll take one hadith, inshallah ta'ala, we'll stop and we'll take the questions. Barakallahu feekum. Hadith number 214 under the chapter Babu Salat al-Jama'a wal Imama. Okay, before going to the hadith, I want to tell you, when we say Jama'ah, the Jama'ah is not only for the Faraid prayers. Jama'ah is also established for some of the sunnah prayers, Taraweeh for example, Salatul Istisqa, the rain, seeking for the rain for example, Salatul Khusuf, the eclipse prayer for example, and Tahajjud, that is in the month of Ramadan. So these are some of the prayers which you perform in Jama'ah. And there are some other salah which you does not perform in the Jama'ah. So Jama'ah is not only restricted for obligatory, but when it comes to obligatory, it is wajib to attend. But when it comes to other prayers, it is not wajib for you to go and attend. It is for the kifayah. If some of the Muslims are doing it, it is enough for you to, even if it does not perform, that is enough upon you, inshallah ta'ala. Hadith number 214. عن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال صلاة الجماعة أفضل من صلاة الفض ب27 درجة متفق عليه. Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu anhuma, he says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told the salah in the jama'ah, afdalu min faddin, means better than praying alone, and the reward of the jama'ah, praying in the jama'ah, is about 27 times in daraja, means 27 salah. Daraja here means salah. There is another further wordings which is mentioned here. وَلَهُمَا عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى ب25 جزءا وكذا للبخاري عن أبي سعيد وقال درجة. And we have, which is mentioned in Sahih Muslim and Bukhari, from Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, that the salah, one salah in the jama'ah is equivalent to 25 juz'an, 25 parts. وَكَذَا الْبُخَارِ and Sa'id, and also it is the same wordings are mentioned by Sa'id in Bukhari, which is of daraja, which means 27 times. Now you might ask me a question, why it is mentioned 27 times in one place and 25 times in one place? Ulama has got different kind of explanation here. Some of the ulama, they say that there is not much difference between 25 and 27. It is only a little difference. The reward is something same. Some of the ulama, they say that it was 25 times before, then Allah increased to 27 times. This explanation, Allah Ta'ala. However, since we have the hadith 27 times, Rasulullah sallallahu, and some of the ulama, they say that it depends upon the kind of prayer that you perform, how much sincere you are in that, how much khushu you had in that prayers, depends upon that thing. So here, whether it's 27, 25, the reward is, as it is mentioned in the hadith, 27 times for each prayer, inshallah ta'ala. As-salatul munfarid min ghayri udhun ka salatul wahida. How much time we have? We'll take one more hadith and we'll stop here, or we'll take questions. Is there any questions here? Only one question. If there are more questions, we'll stop this session. Otherwise, we'll take one more hadith and we'll stop, inshallah ta'ala. طيب, we will take one more hadith. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه, hadith number 315, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال والذي نفسي بيده لقد هممت أن آمر بحطب فيحطب ثم أمر بصلاة فيؤذن لها ثم آمر رجلا فيؤم الناس ثم أخالف إلى رجل لا يشهدون الصلاة فأحرق عليهم ببيوتهم والذي نفسي بيده لو يعلم أحدهم أنه يجد عرقا سمينا أو مرمتين حسنتين لشهد العشاء متفق عليه واللفظ للبخاري. Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, he says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِي, that means by him in whose hands my soul is. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam uses his words only when the matter is very, very tough or very, very important. He says that لَقَدْ حَمَّمْتُ, I would like to give orders to a man to collect the wood. ثُمَّ آمَرَ بِالصَّلَاةِ فَيُؤَذِّنْ لَهَا, then I order a man to give adhan for the prayers. ثم آمر رجلا فيؤم الناس, then I order a man to perform or lead the prayers. ثم أخالف إلى رجل لا يشهدون الصلاة فأهرك عليهم بيوتهم, then I will order man to go and burn the houses of those people who did not attend the jama'ah, This wordings which says that attending the jama'ah is wajib. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we know that وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, we have not sent him except as a mercy to the entire mankind. When he is merciful, when Allah is merciful, why will he say that the one who misses the jama'ah and pray in his houses, he would like to burn? That shows the importance of praying in the jama'ah in the masjid. Is it clear? وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ لَوْ يَعْلَمُ أَحَدُهُمْ أَنَّهُ يَجِدُ عِرْقًا سَمِينًا, if one of you know the importance of the prayers in the masjid, in the jama'ah, then the irqan thaminan means, irqan means the bone that has got flesh, And if you see, there is another thing here. The flesh, if you want to eat meat, eat the meat that which is on the bone. That is more tastier than the flesh that which does not have bone. If you go to the hotels, the the chef, he uses certain meat which is attached to the bone for certain food, because that is more tastier. And I heard from one person, I do not know if this hadith is authentic or not, wallahu alam, he said that if you want to give the meat to your father, to your parents, then give the meat that which has got bones, because that meat which is on the bone is more tastier than the other meat. But if you give bones, it's like haddi dal diya. You gave bone piece to me. How ridiculous this is! Is insulting this is. But if you see, the meat which has got on the bones is more tastier than the meat does not have the bone. That's the importance. If you know the importance of jama'ah, that is more better than the meat which is on the bone. أو مرمتين حسنتين. Mirmataini hasanatain means the ulama, they say the flesh that is which is in between the ribs. And some of my friends, they told me, if you want to eat meat, then eat the meat which is on the ribs. That is more tastier. Am I right? You should be knowing it. We are ahlul lahm, ahlul luhum. We are the people of meat. Without meat, we are out of Islam. We Muslims want meat every day. Huh? Na'udhu billah. Tayyib. أو مرمتين حسنتين لشهد العشاء, if he witnesses the Isha. وَلَفْظُ لِلْبُخَارِ. So this hadith explains the importance of praying in the jama'ah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave the wa'id, the importance that, the one who does not pray in the jama'ah is how should be burned. Don't go and burn the houses of your friend, those who are not praying. This is just a punishment or a wa'id or something showing the importance of it. Okay, don't follow. It is mentioned by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I am going to do it. Don't be a literalist taking the hadith dhahiriyya with the dhahir meaning, inshallah. With this we'll stop here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding of the nusus, understanding of the texts, and follow the sunnah according to the way Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وجزاكم الله وبارك الله فيكم ونفع الله بكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. If there are any questions, we'll take the questions now, inshallah. Any questions here? Online there are questions? Okay, let me. Okay, there are some questions here. What is the difference between the Ishraq and Duha Awabin? the question here is, there is no difference between, there is no difference between duha and awabin. Awabin are those who perform duha. Ishraq is that prayer which you perform just after the sunrise. That condition is that you sit in the masjid after the Salatul Fajr, then you do dhikr or whatever it is. Not necessary that you have to sit in the same place. You can sit at any place in the masjid. Some people have misconception that they have to sit in the same place. No, they can sit at any of the places. Then after 15 minutes after the sunrise, some of the ulama they say 10 minutes, some of the ulama they say 12 minutes, some of the ulama they say 15 minutes. But to be in a safer side, we make it 15 minutes. The one who prays 2 rak'ah after the sunrise, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told, Hajj wa umrahu ta'am wa ta'am wa ta'am. He gets the reward of the Hajj and Umrah. Complete Hajj and Umrah. So if you want to get the reward of Hajj and Umrah, then pray the Ishraq. And duha is also can be prayed the same together, but duha is something an extended timings where you can perform from 15 minutes after sunrise to 15 minutes before the zenith, inshallah ta'ala. That's the difference. There's another question here. Is that the range up to 27 times depending upon the respective khushu or khuzu, or is it 27 times or nothing? The 27 times which is mentioned in the salah is a reward of the prayers, 27 salah. But the 27 salah you will be getting will be according to your sincerity, according to your khushu in the prayers. The more you are attentive with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a lot of khushu, you will have the reward. The less you will have, the less reward you will have. Is it clear? That's the meaning, inshallah. Then another question is it like the one in the first row will get 27 times and the one in second row will get 26 times and so on? No. The reward of the person who prays in Jama'ah will get 27 times as he prays with the khushu. But the one who prays in the first Jama'ah, in the first line, will have the reward of the first line. The one who prays behind will have the reward of the second line. As Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told, the best line for the men is the first line and the best line for the woman is the last line. The last line. Now, so the reward depends upon of the saf, depending upon the first line and second line. But the salah you will get the same reward, inshallah ta'ala. Is it clear? No, you will, if you pray in the first line, you will get the reward of the line in the first line. That's a separate reward from the prayer itself. Is it clear? We have another question here by Amit Kumar. Amit Kumar is here. What if one is waiting for Ishraq namaz, he goes to the toilet, will his reward will be reduced? If a person is waiting for the Salatul Ishraq, then he wants to go to the washroom and come back, no, his reward will not be reduced. His reward will not be reduced. Rather, you go washroom, even if the washroom is outside the masjid, you can go make wudu and come back and pray, you will have the same reward, inshallah ta'ala. Same reward. But a person is going outside the masjid without any reason, will not have the reward. Condition is he has to be in the masjid. He will not have the reward. Wa barakallahu feek. Any questions here? Sorry? Oh yeah, that's a very important question. How the Jama'ah is considered, how many? How many is Jama'ah is considered as? Ulama they say 2 of them Jama'ah is considered. Imam Malik says 40. At least 40. Imam Abu Hanifa says at least 17 or 15, 16. But what is Jama'ah is 2 or 3 will be considered as Jama'ah. If there are 2 people, 3 people, it is Jama'ah. Today morning, I was seeing a video in Facebook. It was today morning or last night, I don't remember. In one of the masajids in Hyderabad, there is only an imam and muaddin performing the salah in the masjid. Only 2 of them. Entire masjid is empty. Allahu musta'an. So this is the state of our Muslim ummah. Masajids are empty. They are performing at homes. Sometimes they are not even performing. Some people, what they do is, they miss the jama'ah with the reason they make all the prayers at the end of the day. There are some people like this as well. And I've seen some people doing it. Ya ikhwani, do not play with the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has created us to worship Him. The priority of us is to worship Allah, not to worship or not to keep yourself busy with the worldly affairs. The worldly affairs are part of the life, asbab. But the reason Allah has created you here is to worship Him, not for anything else. Now, is there any question? Jazakallah khair ya akhi. Barakallah feek. Now, excuse me, 1 second. Yeah. In the masjid? The question here is, a person entered the masjid and he missed the jama'ah. Can he make jama'ah with a person who is praying the sunnah? Yes, they can do that, inshallah. Or you can do another thing. Those people who, obviously some people will miss the jama'ah, you can make another jama'ah in the masjid. But do not make it as a regular practice. Why? Because people will be like, anyways we'll go late to the masjid, anyways there will be jama'ah, we can make another jama'ah. So here, for every negativity will lead to a bigger negativity, bigger negative things. So do not make it as habit, but sometimes you can do, inshallah, absolutely no problem.
But many masjids forbid second
Yeah?
Second Juma is not allowed.
Oh yeah, then they should avoid it. Otherwise, fitna. If some of the masajid they say do not make second jama'ah, do not make it. Make separately pray. Why to create unnecessary fitna in the masajids, unnecessary the place where there is unnecessary commotions in the masjid. So better to pray separately. And alhamdulillah, we in Salafi masajid, in Ahlul Hadith masajid, there is no issues. But if you go to some of the Ahnaf masajids, some of them they have objections. So keep the hearts of the people also in the qulubun nas, hearts of the people in the mind, and we need to behave accordingly, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah. Anything else? If there are no questions? No. Can you repeat? Fajr Sadiq. The question here is that the timing of the witr ends at the Tulu al-Fajr. That Fajr is Fajr Sadiq, the actual Fajr. Yes.
In Saudi Arabia, I saw 6 adhan. They used to do 6 adhan. Here 5 adhan.
6 adhan. Huh. Okay. The question here is that in Saudi, they give 6 adhan. 6 adhan in the sense 6 adhan. 6 adhan in the sense 5 adhan for the 5 obligatory prayers. 1 adhan they give in the mid part of the night. That is 1 hour before the Fajr starts. That's the Fajrul Kadhib. Kama fa'ala Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, as Bilal radiyallahu anhu used to give. And why they used to give is that to remind the people, especially they used to give in the Ramadan, to remind the people of the suhoor time and for the tahajjud time, and second adhan, so that they can prepare the first adhan, so that they can prepare themselves for the fajr and suhoor and things like that. And second adhan, obviously that's the end of the suhoor, and people should not think that the first adhan is the end of the suhoor. The fasting will become longer for them otherwise. It's fine. That's it from the sunnah. Yeah. We have another question here. Some masjid has 2 Jum'ah. Is it allowed, or which has more reward? Yes. If some of the masajid has 2 Jum'ah, because there is only masjid in that particular area and people are more and they can't perform in one Jama'ah and there is no place. So they make another Jama'ah, another Jum'ah, it's fine, no problem, inshallah ta'ala. Min babil hajjah. It's a need. It's fine, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. The question here is that some of the, if you go to some of the masajids, people does not stand in one line, keeping their shoulder to shoulder together and feet to feet together. First of all, it is not from the wajibat or anything, it is from the sunnah of the saf. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, saffu sufufakum wa tara'su. Make your saf proper. Atimmu saf al-awwali fal-awwali fal-awwal. And make your saf complete, and complete and complete means make your first saf complete, then second saf complete, then third saf complete, without having a gap in between. But here what happens, some people they stand long, huge gap in between. That is something which is not correct from the sunnah, but the salah is valid. Salah is absolutely valid, but it is not from the sunnah. Sunnah is to come and stand together. When we say sunnah coming and standing together, we people take it in an extreme way. When you stand together, make your shoulders first together, then the feet. What people do is, they make the feet first, then the shoulder will not be able to join. When you make the join, when you join the feet, the shoulders, automatically the feet will be joined. And some people also go to another extreme. They pull your legs in the salah itself. When you go to ruku or sujood, they'll be pulling. Na'udhu billah, ya akhwani. What is this? Don't pull. Don't stamp and fracture that leg, the other guy who's standing besides you. Some people, they do this. You're playing with Allah, you're playing in the prayers. What is this? All these things are practices which are not from the Islamic character, from the character of the Muslim. You stand as much as possible, fine. Allah has created us differently, right? Some people feet is like this, some people feet is like this, some people feet is this way, some people can't stretch, some people can't keep. So it is like, you go and keep your, cab, this ankle to the ankle. It's not possible. It's not possible. You just touch with each other, that is enough, inshallah ta'ala. Bil akal, inshallah ta'ala. Keep these things in the mind. And over these matters, we should not fight with each other and kill each other. This is what we have to keep in the mind. All this is sunnah acts. If you leave it, la basa bih, inshallah ta'ala. Anything else? No, he talks about only the feet. He talks about only the feet. Regarding there's a question, a very interesting question here. Regarding the abd, the slave that we are talking about, the servant, it is not the government servant. The servant in the sense, the slave during the olden times we had slavery, that is a slavery. That's a whole different topic, inshallah. Servant is different meaning. Yes. No, it's not obligatory. For whom? Government servant? No, it's not obligatory. No. Praying salah? Reward will be the same, inshallah ta'ala. Praying salah in any masajids is the same reward. But afdal in those masajids where the sunnah has been followed, inshallah ta'ala. That is afdal, inshallah ta'ala. But otherwise the reward is same. Allah accept the prayers.
Suppose we know an imam who does nikah. For example, in my place in Chennai, whether the imam is Jummah, they say after Fajr, do Fatiha, and then they say who or something like that. So I know that means there's bid'ah. Can I pray with myself?
Yes. That bid'ah does not, hadihil bid'ah la yukhraj min millah. This bid'ah does not take a person from out of Islam. But if he goes to the graveyard, worshipping the graves and saints and pir, which is shirk is clear, that's when we can't pray behind him. If somebody is making muraqabah, they say muraqabah, this is muraqabah is, where you say Allah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, like this. When I accepted Islam initially, I went to the masjid and the fresh iman, always wanted to do new things. Don't know what is sunnah, what is not sunnah. So after Maghrib, it's a Jamia Masjid in Andhra. What happened? They switch off the lights and people gathered, all of them they gathered and they started doing a dhikr together. And what is the dhikr? La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, like this. I also joined it. 45 to 50 minutes. Next day I had literally pain in my neck. Then I asked him, what is this particular thing of La ilaha illallah means? La ilaha illallah. Illallah, it has to go to the heart, it seems. So Iman will increase. This one is Muraqabah, which is a Sufi way of doing it, which is not in the Sunnah of the religion of Islam, not the practice of Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, nothing. So they do this, who they do all these things, which is not from the Sunnah. All these are innovations. Salah behind him, yes, it's accepted as long as we know that the Imam is committing shirk. If the Imam is committing shirk, go and talk to him, why are you doing this? If you clear that this guy is worshipping the graves and asking through the graves, he's a mushrik, you can never ever pray behind him. Even if the 100 masajids in the city that you live, all of them are mushriks and imams, you can't pray behind him, you will pray at home, inshallah. But we can't make takfir of anybody like that. Some people will go to the dargah. They may be going to dargah for making dua for that one, not for seeking the dua. So we need to, before we label somebody as a kafir or a muqtadi or a mushrik, we need to know why he went. There are many people who go to dargah, right? Not everybody we can't make mushrik. We need to ask why you went, what are the things you do, why you make sajda, why you are making tawaf. So if tawaf is lillah, tawaf has a custom, as anything, there are different rulings on different things. We can't make takfir mutlaq, that is a complete making a person kafir or mushrik, inshallah. We got to be very careful, inshallah. I'm not able to hear. Yeah. No. It is, yeah, you can pray Salatul Janaza there, but the ulama, okay, the question here is that there is a graveyard and there is a masjid in between the graveyard, like we have in Nandi Durga Road, one masjid here, right? But the masjid inside there is no graves, it has got a separate compound. The ulama, they say it is better not to perform Salatul Janaza there, better to perform Salatul Janaza in any other masajids. But the Salah is valid. But Salah is not valid in those masajids where there is a grave inside the masjid. If the graves are surrounded, but the compound is different. The compound is different and there are no graves inside the masjid, Salah is valid. If there is any grave inside the masjid, Salah is not valid. So when it comes to Salatul Janaza, la bas, there is no problem in it, but better to pray in the other masjid and bring the grave body to the graveyard, inshallah. Yeah, it's allowed, inshallah, it's fine. Inshallah, barakallah feek. Anything else? Yeah. The question here is that when it comes to the congregation, is it only with the masjid or they can make jama'ah anywhere, or we can make jama'ah at home? No, jama'ah in the masjid, jama'ah in the masjid, or jama'ah in those places where there are no masajids but there is a congregation going on, musalla or something like that. That is the reward, inshallah. If you miss, that's a different reason. You can make jama'ah at home. That is afdal to make jama'ah than rather than praying munfaridan, yani separately, inshallah. It's clear? Yeah, the poor people, they don't have masajids, they pray openly. La bas, it's jama'ah, inshallah.
How about having mask and praying? Is it allowed?
Wearing mask and praying the salah, no, not allowed, unless there is a need in the sense he is having some disease or corona issues. Otherwise they are not supposed to cover the faces, inshallah. But women covering the face, when it comes to praying between the non-mahrams, they have to cover the face. But if they are praying alone, they don't have to cover the face, inshallah. Hope it's clear for all of you. See you in the next week with the same chapter about Jama'ah. We'll discuss more and more issues on this matter. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.